What's up, Bears fans? It's Philip from PR Moves back after kind of a weekly hiatus. It's all right. Let's quickly address that. I did tell you guys before last week's videos I was going to be not in town, so I wasn't able to record a reaction to the Lions game. That's why if you follow me on social media, any social media for the most part, you pretty much, mostly Twitter, you'd have seen my reactions to the game. And then my weekly predictions, I had testing. So we're going to tack them in at the end of this video, so don't worry about that. You'll see them. But we're going over the Bears and the Raiders. So here's my quick thoughts about the Bears coming into this game. Justin Fields was named the starter. Montgomery's hurt. We're going to go over all of that. Just overall, I think if Nagy is not calling plays, this game's going to be a lot more fun. And as long as that's pretty much the entire thing. So let's just jump right into it, and let's start off with the Bears receivers versus the Raiders secondary. Now, the Raiders are missing some guys. They're missing Trevathan Mullen as well as their slot corner. So it will be Casey Hayward, who is their traditional Damon Arnett is their other corner. It will be Casey Hayward with Nate Hobbs, who has played a game this season already, and then Amik Robertson, who's been around the league for a while. Their safeties are solid. Trevon Moehrig has been pretty good so far. Jonathan Abram is a lot more of a box safety. But overall, the Raiders' secondary, is outside of Casey Hayward, is not scaring me in the slightest. Especially if Fields is playing and he plays how he did last week. There's Robinson, Mooney, Goodwin, Kmet, but of course David Montgomery has that knee strain, so he's going to be missing a significant amount of time. So it's up to Damien Williams as well as Khalil Herbert to get into this game and establish the run just like Montgomery would want them to. So Damien Williams will be getting the nod, and it'll be exciting to see how he gets adjusted to the game. So this will be his first start since the Super Bowl run with Kansas City. So Damien Williams is the guy. I'm a little worried about him, especially with their offensive line, but I think he can at least churn out something that is not subpar. And then that jumps us straight over to the other flip side. The Bears. I messed up the graphic. Give me a second. All right, I've never messed up a graphic like that. It's the Raiders receivers versus the Bears secondary. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Henry Ruggs is one of the fastest receivers in the league. Bryan Edwards, also in his second season, is outstanding. Hunter Renfrow is also a very nice talent. And then, of course, you have one of the top 3 tight ends in the league, Darren Waller, and Josh Jacobs, who's back. So this supporting cast for the Raiders is super good. You can't really deny that in the slightest. And, it's going to be a really tough task for basically everyone who's not Jalen Johnson. Johnson has been outstanding every single week. I expect whoever is guarding Jalen Johnson to be pretty much locked up. I hope that they're bracketing the absolute crap out of Darren Waller, making sure that he is never in one-on-one coverage. If I'm Sean Desai, he's the one person I'm looking out for in this upcoming game. And then Josh Jacobs, I think we have one of the best run defenses in the league, so I'm not crying over Josh Jacobs right now. But they also do have Kenyon Drake and Jalen Richard, who are very good receivers out of the backfield. So always remember that. But overall, I think we're going to struggle. I think our secondary is going to struggle, but as long as we can contain Darren Waller, which I don't know if we will, but if we want to win this game, containing Darren Waller is going to be, I think, the number one way to do that. And that brings us to the Bears' offensive line versus the Raiders' front seven. Now, the Raiders run a very multiple front, which is why I had to give them a lot of linebackers and defensive ends here. Of course, there's Max Crosby, who is just an animal, one of the best edge rushers in the league. Maybe top 15. But he's still very good. On the other side of him is Yannick Ngakoue, who has been very solid. Especially, he's been much better as a run defender this year, I've heard. His run grade is very high, so good for Yannick Ngakoue, kind of bouncing back here in Vegas. And then defensive tackles aren't exceptionally strong. Jonathan Hankins has been around for a while. Solomon Thomas was drafted after Mitch Trubisky. Never really gets talked about in that same bust conversation, though. but Solomon Thomas is there nonetheless. And then their linebackers, Corey Littleton, KJ Wright, Denzel Perriman, Nick Kwiatkowski, are the strength of this team, which is really weird because they were the weakness of this team last year. Most of them can fly around the field. Most of them are very solid in coverage. It's going to be very difficult for Bears tight ends to get open, but they also can rush the passer in multiple different ways, which could suck for this Bears offensive line. Now, with Bill Lazor calling plays, I'm much more comfortable with this offensive line because when we're running the ball effectively, the offensive line plays a lot better. So I do think we're going to struggle. I think we're going to give up a few sacks, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near close to the Browns game. But I do have some confidence in our offensive line after last week. They only allowed 1 sack, and it was because Fields rolled out of the pocket and lost the ball. So pretty much I'm going to roll with, I'm not going to say our offensive line is going to win this battle, but I don't think they're going to be the reason we lose the game. That brings us to the Bears front 7 versus the Raiders offensive line, making sure I got that title right. Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman, Bilal Nichols, all returning. Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn. Khalil Mack's listed as questionable, but shout out Trevis Gibson, who got 2 pressures, 1 forced fumble, and a sack, and 7 tackles, including 1 TFL, in his first ever big game action against the Lions last week. So watch out for him as well. He'll get in the game a lot with Mack hurt. And then Danny Trevathan was activated today off of IR, which is exciting. Danny Trevathan is one of the leaders of this team. But I don't think he's going to start. I think most of the playing time will go to Ogletree. But I think it's good that Danny Trevathan's back. He's very good depth. He knows the system. But I think Ogletree's been playing absolutely fantastic, and he will get the start. The Raiders' offensive line, though, has been shoddy. They have no Richie Incognito, and they have no their other guard is out. So Colton Miller is the only mainline starter. Alex Leatherwood, they've been jumping him to multiple positions during practices. He is still slated to start at right tackle, which is good for any Bears defender going up against him. Jermaine Alua-Minor, I believe that's how you pronounce it, is okay. But Andre James and John Simpson are both on the lower end of the starting spectrum, possibly the bottom 5. So this Bears front 7 should absolutely eat. This is the one area of the game I'm exceptionally confident we're going to get pressure on Derek Carr, which bodes really well for our secondary moving throughout this game. I think that's a very good thing to know that our secondary is going to be getting a lot of pressure. Or that for our secondary, that the front 7 is going to be getting a lot of pressure. But also the fact Trevathan's back, he's a very good blitzing linebacker, so I'm counting on this Bears offensive line getting 3 or 4 sacks in this game. That brings us to our final predictions. I do have the Raiders winning, 27-21. I haven't gotten a prediction wrong this year. I hope I'm wrong about this one. But I do have Carr throwing 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. I do think Jacobs catches a lot of passes. I think he's going to have to dump it off to him to get the ball moving. And I think same with Waller. I think they're going to scheme up a lot of short stuff for Waller with the Bears pass rush coming at him. I do have Ruggs. I think Ruggs gets a big touchdown as well. But I think our offense actually keeps up. Fields, I have getting 230 yards, 2 touchdowns. Super excited to see him in what kind of feels like a reset. I mean, there's no worry that Dalton's going to come back and take his job now. It is Fields for the rest of the season, and that's really exciting to see him learn and grow. Damien Williams, I don't think Damien Williams is going to have a game like David Montgomery would, but he's going to be pretty solid nonetheless. And then Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney, I think, are both going to have solid games. They were both great under Fields last week, and with their secondary being kind of beaten up, I would expect a lot of our receivers to have pretty solid games. And then Mack, I do have going in and grabbing 2 sacks. I didn't think he really got his proper revenge game last time, so I do think he goes and grabs 2 sacks. I think the Raiders win 27-21. All right, didn't get to my weekly predictions last time out. Here they are. We're going to quickly run through them. Thursday Night Football, I did pick the Seahawks. So I didn't get the Rams score correct, but I did pick the Seahawks, so that's an L. And then just running down the rest of the games, I think the Titans beat the Jaguars. I think the Broncos beat the Steelers in a super low-scoring game. Patriots wallop the Texans. Chargers beat the Browns. Chiefs beat the Bills in an absolute barn burner. Ravens get a close one over the Colts. The Falcons win a good game over the Jets. Another good game, but the Packers beat the Bengals. both 3-1, surprisingly. We're the only team that beat the Bengals, wink. Buccaneers kind of shellacked the Dolphins. Raiders, of course, beat the Bears. Already got the Seahawks game wrong. The Saints beat the football team. I think the Saints have been good one week, bad the next week, so I think they bounce back and have a good week. Kind of what I expect from them right now. Panthers beat up on the Eagles, who have no real run game, and the Panthers are the best run defense in the league right now. Vikings win a surprisingly good game against the Lions. They've been so inconsistent. I think the Cardinals absolutely destroy the 49ers, and I have the Cowboys winning a close game over the Giants. A super important game for both of those teams. And just for recap, we're 11-5 last week in week 4. If you want to go see those predictions, it'll be linked in the description. And we're 40-24 in the season. So hopefully we can continue to bounce back. But that's pretty much it. Those are my weekly predictions, including the Bears versus Raiders prediction. If you want to see any of my other videos, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. You already know the drill. Leave comments down below about what I can do to improve the content on this channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.